Right, okay, assuming this is working, just going to have a quick run through of how to set up the Singularity engine, as people seem to be having problems with it. So this should just be a quick-ish step-by-step run through of how to actually do it.
Welcome to the station crew. Enjoy your stay.
Starting as engineer, just because that's probably what you're going to be when you start. You've got everything you're going to need to do it. The Singularity is different to the Tesla for a few different reasons. Large one being you can actually power down the Tesla, or you can actually power down the Singularity. So if containment is going to fail, you're not necessarily going to die. You can power it down. So firstly, just go and grab yourself a hard suit. Make sure you get your breath mask as well. It's always a good idea just to make sure you've got some insulated gloves as well, which are in any of the electrical lockers. Don't forget an oxygen tank. And here you go. Here, this is the first issue that I'm going to have, being that I'm just a station engineer. If I'm doing the Singularity engine, you've actually got to fill these collectors here with plasma. However, the plasma tank is in here. So we're just going to need to quickly get that unlocked. If you have a chief engineer aboard or an AI aboard, you can just have them just open it for you. And typically you shouldn't build the Singularity without having it approved by the chief engineer or captain anyway, because the Singularity people tend to think is a lot more dangerous, whether or not it actually is. It's usually because people don't know how to do it, really. But anyway, so open the secure storage. So that's for getting the plasma later. For right now, let's just do containment, and we'll worry about containment. So cycle the airlock by clicking that. Toggle on your oxygen. Don't forget that. You will... Ooh, it's gonna break. Okay, and then cycle. So you're fully insulated. If you don't do that, you will die. And this takes a while, so let's just force this open. It's not a big deal at the moment. Turn on your light because it's probably too dark outside. And you've got two engines, right? For this one, we're doing the Singularity, so let's unattach both of them. Drag the one you want into the middle, reattach it. This is all using the wrench. You've got one either in your toolbox or your tool belt, which you start with, or there's just one lying there. Let's quickly pull the Tesla engine back inside, since we are not using it. Right, so that's that sorted. Now we just got to enable the... also make sure you got your mag boots on, because otherwise you'll start floating around in space, as atmosphere is different and pushes you around, specifically because we forced this door. But once the Tesla engine is up as well, you'll, or the Singularity is up, it'll start pulling you around. Right, so in one hand, grab your ID, and then use your empty hand to turn on the emitter, and then go back to your card and lock it. Basically, this stops AIs from being able to release the engine, which is a good thing. You don't want them releasing the engine, typically. Different circumstances may change that. People can obviously still come out and turn them, still release the engine. As you're going by, make sure you turn on the field generators as well, and try not to get shot by the emitters. Just clicking through all of these. So if you don't have your mag boots on and the Singularity is on, you will get chucked into the beam, and you will electrocute yourself, and you'll die. And your chief engineer will have to come out and rescue you, and probably berate you after they revive you, because you will be dead. Right, so this is one of the big things about playing engineer though, is double checking everything. So I've seen the other side come online. This is the top and bottom have all come online, and now that's come online. So I'm feeling pretty confident about that. And I've locked everything. Now we go inside. So let's force the exterior closed. Anyway, so now we've got containment up. First thing you should do is make sure you got your mesons on. This is another difference from having the Singularity to the Tesla, is if you have the meson scanner on, or if you don't have a meson scanner on, you will take damage from the Singularity and you'll get stunned. Right, first thing to do, come up here, check the Singularity, containment, all looks fine, cool, then you proceed. Because basically if you fuck this up and the Singularity gets loose, you basically ruin the round for people and you can get yourself job banned. But the next thing, actually let's not set up the PA yet, let's do that last. Let's do the plasma tanks. So this is a difference between the Tesla and the Singularity, is you need to fill plasma tanks to collect plasma. Very easily, just dispense yourself 5 of these, and then you've got another one down here that you can grab as well. You need 6 in total. Max the pressure release, make sure you've got one in there, and then hit open, and you'll see those fill up. If there isn't one in there and you hit open, it will spew plasma everywhere, and that's not good. Right, so let's do this slowly and carefully. So this one's done, so put it in and then click it again and it opens. Nice and simple. Really easy to do, but one of the biggest mistakes people have is they forget to fill the plasma tanks. Also a nice thing is that once you eject it, it automatically closes, so you don't need to close and then eject, which is nice. Let's just grab the rest of these. So then we don't need to come back for it. Turn off my shoes just for the moment because the shoes slow you down. Okay, fill in the plasma tank. Alright, now we hop over to the other side. Also be careful you don't push this because we've not set up the P yet. So it's not screwed into place. So it can and will move if you shove it accidentally. Which is not a big problem, but you then have to reposition it all and it's a bit of a pain in the ass. So just quickly fill in all these. Right, so these are now all filled and opened. We'll return the plasma canister to its rightful location so that nefarious traders don't get their hands on it. Right, so that's all done. Literally the last thing now to do is set up the PA. So typically you wouldn't be doing all of these yourself, you'd have other people on the server, normally, or hopefully. So one of you might do containment, another will do the PA and fill the collectors, and the engine will get up much sooner. Right, firstly, you've got to go around to all 7 pieces and wrench them all into place. This will stop them from being jostled about and moved. You then need to wire them. Again, all 7 pieces. And then finally, screwdriver them all to finish. Again, all 7 pieces. Cool. That's only 6. There you go, 7. Now you can check it, run scan, all parts are in place. Perfect. Come down, check everything again. You probably want to check containment again just to be sure, make sure there's no problems. But what we're going to do is we're now ready to toggle this on. So we're going to phase 2 and toggling it on. So what this is doing is power 2 and on. This then fires a beam into the engine that we wrenched into the middle. We can't actually see it just yet, it's just off the screen, but what this has done is spawned a level 1 singularity, which is a nice little small 1 tile singularity, and this is going to start growing. We'll see it very shortly, and then it'll start wandering around. Oh, don't forget to enable your mag traction boots, because when the singularity starts getting bigger, it'll start pulling you and other things around. And you can get pulled in front of the beam and get shot, which you don't really want to do. Alright, there we go. You've seen that thing start moving, so the singularity is up and exists. So now we're just waiting for the singularity to grow. While we're waiting for the singularity, we'll do the SMESs. So firstly, you got this one on the left. What this one does is this one powers the emitters, which powers containment. So it's very important. Thankfully, it only does emitters, so you don't need to power it up too much. So you just increase the charge just a little bit, so the charge is higher than output. That's literally all you need to do for that one. Let's go quickly check on the singularity again. Basically, we want to get this to a phase 3 singularity. Cool, still phase 1, that's fine. Now over here is the main power grid SMESs. With these, we actually want to go in and turn on charge and max it, and then output we want to have just a little less than max. Doesn't matter how much you do. You can do 15. I tend to do 18. So on max set 18, and you got to do this for all 3 of them. This powers the main grid. If you forget this, people aren't getting power, even though you set up the engine. Cool. Right, so those 3 are all set up. Let's go check out the singularity. So the idea is we want to get a level 3 singularity, which is fairly large. Oh, there we go. So it's phase 2 at the moment. So that's a phase 2. It starts wandering around, looks kind of big. Oh, it's now purple. Purple means phase 3. So what we want to do is we go up here. Actually, I would wait typically, even though it's purple, typically wait for it to come up here, because then it starts ripping up tiles. Once it starts ripping up these tiles, you know that it's perfect. But you don't really need to. So as long as you know it's purple, there you go. As long as you know it's purple, then go up here, lower the particle strength. So it still fires, but on a particle strength of 0. That sort of maintains it for a while, because you don't want it to go any higher than phase 3, basically. And the difference between the singularity and the Tesla is that once you've set up the Tesla, you can just leave it. With the singularity, you probably want to check this again in about an hour. But everything looks good so far. We'll close the blast doors. Final check from us is we want to go over to the grid monitor. And if you remember, we did 18 times 3, so 18 times 3, 54. Perfect. Everything's there. Power looks nominal, as they say. There you go. Now you head to the bar. You're done. Engine is set up. Come back in an hour and check on it when it's done. But that's the main how to set up a singularity. We'll cover some of the other stuff on another video.